Hello and welcome to class. I'm going to show you around the Blackboard shell for our course and how I think that I would have designed it so that students can ultimately interact with the course. So you first of all, to get to our Blackboard course, you can go through our KCTCS website by www.ashland.kctcs.edu. That takes you directly to our website, and then click on My Path and then Blackboard. That's one way. That's probably what I hear most students do, but there's also another way to go directly to Blackboard, and that's the address that you see up here, elearning.kctcs.edu/ultra. You can do that as well. So that way, if My Path would be down, you would have another way to access this. I'll also send everything I say in an email, so you'll be able to, you don't need to write that down. You can look at the emails, announcements later if you forget. Okay, so once you're on the shell, let's go to courses, where you should see all of your current courses you're enrolled in. If that doesn't look right to you, then go to the drop-down menu and find your Spring 2021 courses. So I'm going to be talking to you about college algebra. And so once you're in the course, you'll see down the left-hand side, there's a lot of options here, but actually I only use 2 of these. I guess you could see who's in the course and various things, but the main functional ones are Blackboard Collaborate. And this is a really neat way that we can meet as a class. I can meet you individually in Blackboard Collaborate, or I can meet you as an entire class if needed. So you click on Join Session and Course Room. Once in here, this is just a private place for students who are enrolled in this course and your instructor. So this is just a place for us to meet. You'll notice along the bottom, if you haven't used this before, just to kind of help you feel a little more comfortable with it, when you first log on, the audio is off, and so is your video. So I can't see you nor hear you unless you unclick those. And then this is to raise your hand like you're in class, which I think is really cute. Okay, so let's go back out of that. And but anyway, real simple way. And then if you use your webcam and your audio, we can be similar to maybe what you've used on Zoom or FaceTime, but just for our class. The other main thing is announcements, and it looks like I need to clean this up from last semester. I've got 18 there. I do make a lot of announcements. I try to put everything that I can think of that's happening in class on a week-by-week basis in this place that you can access that as you need. So always go back here. This is actually what I did last semester. I will clean that up before I open the shell, but I'll make a lot of announcements. Every time I make an announcement, it is also shared to your email account. So you'll get it in your email, but I know how that email can get so messy. So if you have trouble finding it or locating it, you can use your search, but know that under the announcements is a handy place to see all the announcements, which will also be emails that I've ever made. Okay, now the meat and potatoes of the class. Down the middle columns, first of all, and first and foremost, for our getting started here, you'll click. These are modules. You see these rectangle boxes. These are module boxes. When you click, they expand, and then there's a bunch of stuff inside the module. When you click it again, it condenses. This is a standalone section just for your grade book. So you can click on this and see your grades. And I've said that this is your current course grade. It's automatically updated by the syllabus statements for the percentages, so you can always see your grade. At any time in this course, you should know your grade. Notice that I want to note here that I don't use the Blackboard gradebook. So if you're using the app on your phone to figure out what your assignments are and when they're due, my assignments are going to be in this program called My Lab Math. And so it's sort of takes you out to a different platform, but it's very useful for the math program, for what we do in this class, I believe. So just be aware that a lot of the courses that you're in, maybe every other course that you're in, they may be using the Blackboard assignments and Blackboard gradebook, and you get those notifications if you've signed up for those on your cell phone. So you might kind of be used to doing that in your other courses, but don't rely on that for this math course. You will find your grades in this link, and you will find the due dates for your assignments. I'm going to show you where that is in a minute. My Lab Math student links is a link directly to this platform that I mentioned, and it allows us to work homework problems. Your textbook is there, and some other things, notes, study plans. But the main two things, so you explore all those, but the main two things I've gathered to the top here. All assignments. When you click on all assignments, it does take you out to a new window out of Blackboard. You can see all the due dates. See how it says due and then down the list. So you can always tell what's due and when. That whole class is open and available actually from day one, so you can work ahead. So the first thing we're going to have due on January the 15th, that's the Friday, the first Friday of class, I ask that you take a syllabus quiz. So that is linked here. And then chapter R, this is our review chapter. I love for you to do the review chapter, but notice it doesn't have a due date because it's not required. It's just there for helps. It will help you if you've been away from algebra for a few days and maybe forgot a little bit about the factoring rules and your exponent rules. When we start in our official material, our official content for this course in Chapter 1, it assumes that you know some of these. It assumes that you know all of those things, but we do review it somewhat. I mention it and I talk about these things throughout my lectures, but it will help you greatly if you've already got a handle on this pre-algebra material. So the first official assignment due is section 1.1 and the related quiz. And that will be due on the 18th. You'll notice that all my due dates, I think all my due dates, maybe except for the midterm and final, are due on Mondays. I'll have to look at that and say, but typically my due dates are Monday midnight. So that way it gives you the weekend plus that extra Monday if you need it. But ideally, try to do your work and be done on Friday. I mean, I don't know your life and your schedule. You may work all weekend or you may work all week and do it on the weekend. So whatever works for you, but just try to stay ahead of those deadlines. However you can work that into your life. Be aware that we have deadlines and try to stay away from those as best you can. All right, so let's get back out of that, back to our course, Blackboard course. So that's what you'll see in the all assignments, and then this is your textbook. That's where your textbook is. So you can read the entire textbook, see sample problems worked out, various things along. So let's condense that down, and then this is hidden from students. That's my link to make the assignments. So you really just have these two that are out of modules. Okay, so back to the modules, and then you start module 0, which I'm calling the review chapter. This is, like I mentioned, chapter R. So you'll notice that you can link right here, optional practice. That will also take you directly to the My Lab Math that I mentioned, and you can work these sample problems directly from that link. So there's two ways to get to all of your assignments. I wanted those to be embedded in the modules, but I also want you to know that you have this like super link, My Lab Math super link, that you can get to all the assignments that way. But again, I do have them linked within the modules as well. All right. Okay, back to the course information start here. So I would like you to start the course by looking through all of these links. And I do expect that every module that we go through that you do this, that you click on the module link and that you go through each item that I have listed here. I have it listed for a reason. I try not to put anything in the course that's not necessary. So if it's there, I really expect that you've looked at it. So this first module is the kind of behind the scenes rules and regulations for the course with the syllabus and such. So every module I start with this module overview to tell you why it's important, what the goals are and how you're going to demonstrate that you've done this module, what the activities and due dates are, and then just some encouragement about what I think is very important to pay special close attention to. So there's an overview, and then that flows from there each item. So a little information about me, then I ask you to tell me about you, and so on. But now, once you look at this overview, you're going to know what all of this is about. So that's kind of the meat and potatoes of what to know about the course, your gradebook, and then access to all of the assignments. Okay, then everything else you'll notice here is a module. a week-by-week module. So Module 0, of course, doesn't count because it's optional and it's that review material that I encouraged you to look at. But the first actual content of the course, Week 1, starts Monday, January the 11th. And here is that module. So again, you have the overview. I expect you to look at that. It tells you the assessments. That means what's due in this section, what's due in this module or this week. And so homework 1.1 and 1A. You'll also know that from looking at, the MyLab Math platform tells you that as well. But this is in a handy place for you to see week by week. So module overview. Okay, then I expect you, and it tells you this in the module overview, to attend lecture. So whenever you click on this, there are notes, 1.1 notes. You can click these 3 dots, download your file. Okay, that went down here. Let me see if I can click on that to open. And then that opens a Word document. Looks like that you can print off or follow along with for the first lecture. So there are notes here, and then there are lectures, just like if we were here in person. So I have my lecture over section 1.1 that follows along with your book or with your notes, or both. And then below that, I have some sample problems worked out. Now, I haven't done this for every single section, but for a lot of sections, you'll see sample problems from section 1.1. So this is included working out of the problems within your homework set as they would be described in my lecture series, how I describe them. MyLab Math will also do that for you in their own way. So both are helpful. You just find which works best for you in the learning of the material. But definitely attend this lecture before you move on to attempting the homework. So homework 1.1 then, like I said, links out to the actual homework assignment in the MyLab Math there, as you can see. Okay, I'm going to go back out of that though. Also, in each module, you'll see this. I debated about whether to put this in here because maybe it's just a little much. I probably would assume just as soon that you attend my lecture, follow along that way. But there's also the book supplements. This is also in the e-text link. You can use this link to go to all the book supplements. Like I said, they do a teaching of the material as well. So we've got 1.1. This tells you the textbook. You can read the textbook. This is a video in section 1.1. Then we have some animations. So there's various helps, like more than you may ever want to look at. Look at that. So I tried to just put it in a handy place for you to access. You can watch all those if you like, but you should get what you need, at least a start, in the lecture. Okay, that's probably what I would recommend. And then if you say, this isn't working for me, I need more examples, more aids, then maybe use this. So that's maybe supplemental or extra, or do both to whatever level that you need to be successful. Every module has a wrap-up and tells what you should know when you complete this module, what's due by that Monday midnight, and just as another handy wrap-up to make sure that you know what's due when, what's the expectation. Then you move to week 2, and so on and so forth. And I'll be updating if you have any questions, anything that you think of that I didn't address here. You can work ahead. That's always a good question. You can work ahead in this. We do have a midterm exam on week 8 and 9. We'll hit our spring break and also the midterm of the course. So you will have a midterm exam and a study guide at that point. I don't plan to ask you to take that on campus or at a proctoring center or anything such as that, but I will ask you to take your final exam. We'll probably do it over Proctorio, which that's mentioned in your syllabus, but it will be observed via your webcam. So that's all included in your syllabus. You can look at all that, and please send me any questions that you have. Let me know. Email, and I look forward to working with you this semester and wish you just the best of success.